What is going on, everybody? Hope you're doing well. September 1st, Wednesday, doing some live readings. Hope some people join in on the fun. I'll be in the chat. I'll be hanging out for a few hours. And we'll just have a good old time. I do have something wild that I saw today on Instagram that I'll totally pull up and share with you guys if you're interested. Um, wild stuff. Wild stuff is out there in the world. Sometimes all you can do is laugh at this point. Hopefully my mic's bouncing. Should probably check that. Yeah, we got mic. We're good. We're live. We're in it. We're in it together, fam. Yo, yo. Yo. Yeah. Hope everybody's doing well. Mars opposed Neptune. I'm loving it. I feel like you're going to see where you're fighting your soul. You're going to see where your soul's guiding you. I love it. And it's choices. And we got the Sun square Aldebaran and Antares today and into tomorrow morning. And it's just like these really big light worker choices that we're making that are going to purify our reality. So it's dope. I'm stoked on it. I have top chat open. Yeah. So hopefully I see some people join. Something went wrong on YouTube. Okay, I lost connection apparently on my iPad. But it's back. I don't know if the stream dropped or not. Didn't look like it did on YouTube's interface that I'm in, but it's a possibility. Yeah, maybe I'll get set up to pull up that that wild stuff that I saw on Instagram related to zombies. And the crazy part about it is that it's in a user agreement for Amazon. Man. Every day there's something. And it's so funny, right? Living in Mars Neptune opposition land right now. Like, is that real? Making sure everything's good. Hopefully some people show up. If not, I guess my workday's cut short. I will be doing a live today on Instagram at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern with Sarah, Full Moon Astrology on IG. Talk about the Pluto return. It's going to be juicy. Definitely have been waiting for a good time to talk about this, and her and I are going to just go for it. She's a Capricorn like I am too, so I love that two Capricorns are coming together to just be like, yo, the structure and the system and everything that we thought was or held integrity up until this point is getting blown up. Oh, what up, Erica? Yeah. So happy that you joined. Yitty did. She did. So I'll share the other stuff on YouTube later since you're here with me now. And you did get a donation. Cool. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for following and subscribing here and the Instagram as well. Definitely appreciate that. Oh, happy birthday tomorrow. Sweet. We'll have to check out the solar return for sure. We'll dive into that a little bit. Hope you're doing well today, Erica. 12:25 p.m. I've been getting so much love from Canada on this channel. I think most of the people that have supported this channel are Canadian. Maybe I can thank Yiddy for that. But then there's some others on the east coast of Canada. So interesting how much, how many Canadian followers I have. Victoria. All right. I dropped connection on my iPad again. Kind of strange. Have I been here the whole time, or did I go? Did I get cut? An iPad keeps dropping connection. It seems like everything's good on the interface here. But what up, Lori? Wrench. Um, well, all right. Well, I think we're good to go. Erica, I got September 2nd. Happy birthday, 1993, 12:25 p.m., Victoria, Canada. Hopefully that information looks correct. No interruptions? Good. Maybe it's just my iPad glitching out. That'd be ideal. What up, AK? Thank you for joining. Yeah, I'm doing great today. I'm vibing with the energies big time. I'm digging it. So yeah, Erica, does your chart look correct on the screen? September 2nd, 1993, 12:25. It looks like I got it as you described, but I kind of messed up yesterday and well, yeah, I entered the wrong time in from a Venmo donation and started going reading a fake person's chart for like 5 minutes. It is intense times, AK. It is. I think there's a couple ways to look at the intensity. It's like it's kind of creating diamonds, right? There is a pressure, and pressure creates diamonds. It bursts pipes. We're seeing pipes burst in the world, but I think we're seeing a lot of diamonds come out of it too. So, gotta grab that diamond essence. I need to get back in the live chat too, not the top chat. Does everything look right before I really jump into it? After this, if no one's getting any donation readings, I'll show you that video I saw. I definitely want to share that because it's so interesting. Looks good. Sweet. All right. All right. So, a big thing right now that would be important to look at is you are going through your Saturn return. It just started last December. Started feeling that when Saturn came into Aquarius. Even in 2020, when Saturn came in March for a little bit before it retrograded back, that kind of like kicked off your Saturn return a little bit. Saturn is the ruler of your third house, lord of the third house. So, I mean, this is a lot of mental authority. It's like a mental grow up stage in your life where you're understanding so much more about your environment, your mind, the authority that you have within your voice too. So it's that grow up time, Saturn return. It's an important time. We get faced with decisions at our Saturn return, and part of that is because we're also in our nodal flip. So you have the south node and the north node flipped in transit right now. South node is with your north node is with your south node. So this is where like life for the first 28 and a half years can feel like it's coming to a screeching halt. And so much of it, especially having your south node in Gemini, like a lot of it's pulling from that because the north node is transiting in that seventh house too. So you're not like completely going away from that, but you're pulling from, and with a Saturn return in your third house, Lord of the third, I mean, this is a whole restructuring of the communications that you bring with people, the way you talk with people, the way you hold yourself as a sense of authority, because Saturn is that authority. So this is where maybe other people have, you know, throughout your life so far implanted ways that you should think. And this is where, especially with a Saturn retrograde natally, like you're breaking out. Like this is that Saturn return of a choice to really go into not only your linear thoughts here, but that north node of Sagittarius and like really get into your intuition, really get into, you know, that knowing, like your inner knowing. So instead of always looking for information or always feeling like somebody has to give you information, this is about you using what you already know and have that wisdom in and bringing that out and expressing that. And that's a big one. And Jupiter's on your Saturn right now. So Jupiter's like, you have your own little Jupiter Saturn conjunction going on, which we had in Aquarius at 0 degrees in transit. Like you have that going on natally for the second time and then third time as Jupiter goes to 22 degrees and starts going forward again. So you're dealing with a lot of Saturn influence, which is third, fourth house, but mainly third house. So much about the mind and the expansion, and then that Jupiter's playing into your north node as well with the nodal opposition for you. Right, because Jupiter would be the ruling planet for your north node in Sagittarius. So so much of it is the intuitive knowing with Sagittarius and following that intuitive knowing to make sense, using that to make sense of your environment and the environment that you want to have and the one that you are going to start taking more authority for. So it's definitely a big couple years here, and you're going to have the exact hit. Um, Looks like coming up at the end of the beginning of 2023 with Saturn, exactly on your Saturn. So very Saturnian times, but just such a grow up moment, and seeing how like things can be coming to a halt because the Saturn return's always this choice time in our life where it's like the last call. I don't want to say the last call, but it's the last like easy call we can make to follow more of a rare path, if you will, instead of taking just the Saturnian Earth-based path. It splits off, and we get to kind of choose like a more rare, divine, spiritual path. Might sound woo-woo, but from some of the ancient work that I've done, that's really what we're at right now with Saturn returns, but also dealing with the nodal opposition brings that big like screeching halt too. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. You have Saturn quincunx your sun right now as well in transit. Saturn's at 8, about to come to 7. So you've been dealing with that over the course of the last 10 months or so. And the quincunx is an interesting aspect. The moon is even sextiling, so you kind of have this yod to Saturn, or to the transiting Saturn from your sun and transiting moon. Today's very fated. It's interesting that we're doing this talk today. Um, and Saturn's in your third, so there's so much about the expression right now, and I think you're really at a powerful place to voice, who you are, what you want to do. Your Pluto's your ruling planet. It's in the first house. That got squared, or I'm sorry, got sextiled by Saturn, Pluto, Mercury, and the Sun on January 12th. Like 22 degrees of Capricorn, which is your third house cusp, is just like engraved into my mind because of that transit that took place and changed all of our lives. And again, that was like the third house, the mind, just activation. And it made a great aspect to Pluto and your soul essence and your identity. So mixed with a Saturn return and like powerful aspects to your chart ruler, it's like it can feel like a whole new identity. And Pluto in the first house does change identities. So, embrace where the next identity is going and don't try and hold on too much to the old one. I think the more you hold on to an old, sort of idea or belief um, of your mind, that, that's where you'll find more struggle. Sorry, I got a really weird text message. Um, and I have to check my text because I've noticed like Lori will hit me up sometimes if my stream's all messed up. So I gotta like pay attention to that stuff. Um, what else is big? Your Venus is a big deal here. It's getting that opposition from Saturn currently. Venus is your seventh house ruler of relationships. You have the North Node in your seventh house transiting right now, making great aspects to that. Um, Transiting Mercury is about to make good aspects to your Venus. It's also your 12th house ruler, so we're talking like relationships and like a spiritual essence too with the 12th house and getting the opposition from Saturn. Saturn's going to retrograde back to 7 degrees in exact opposition for that final touch here in the next couple months to your Venus. So it's definitely like a tug of war between past relationships, dealing with people, how to relate to people, how to be in your truth, how to, a lot of it's about the expression, especially with Venus in Leo. You have to let people know what's going to bring you the love you want. And Saturn's kind of like, hey, you got to boss up here and not let other people persuade you. I mean, this is about you kind of taking control of your mind back and your environment. And even the third house being that twin energy is like really connecting to people who are on a twin like level and relationships that are on that level. And then I feel like it has a divine presence too with Jupiter, not Jupiter, I'm sorry, but Venus also ruling your 12th house. And you have a Mars return coming. And you have Mars Jupiter together in the 11th. So it's like, I mean, you identify with people. I mean, you like people, you like relationships. And that goes back to Mars making aspects to your South Node in the 7th. Like, you're kind of learning how to make intuitive decisions on your own and not worry so much about what society wants, but kind of like breaking out and doing things your own way. And that's where you're going to have the luck. It's finding beauty in your own unique way, and expanding upon the relationships that vibe with your independent nature and your sense of freedom. Interesting too that your Chiron was just in part of those big, that big full moon that we just had. Like that big full moon just really activated your Chiron with the sun on it and with the moon in opposition and conjunct your Saturn with a 4-degree orb. Like bringing out like a sense to take that center stage. Leo rules your 10th house. You got Chiron in the 10th house. Like this is kind of like vulnerability is about you taking the responsibilities of the mission. You are a 10th house sun, 10th house Mercury. I mean, you're definitely here to be out in public, to be seen. The Chiron, could definitely make that a sensitive thing, especially in Leo, of not wanting to really shine as bright as you're meant to shine. And like you're definitely, here to show off. The sun in, of course, Virgo, Virgo's super particular and Virgos can really beat themselves up mentally over how everything needs to look or however the public image has to be perfect. So it's kind of learning to like use that fourth house essence too, which is a little bit of the Saturn return essence. Saturn is a co-ruler of Aquarius. So there's some fourth house activation going too, which is really like inner security and knowing like you are meant to be the leader, the lioness, strong, and you have to have that inner security to make that happen. And I think that full moon could have brought like a lot of a lot of that, like maybe that realization of instead of being so critical of what other people think, just worrying more about how you actually feel about yourself and maybe not overthinking the public because you do have a lot of seventh house activation right now, third house. I mean, this is definitely dealing with people and even a Mars return coming, and Venus that just crossed over your Mars and your Jupiter in your 11th house. Yeah. So Mars rules your sixth too. So it's a little bit of reality checks around people. But you do have that Pisces moon. I mean, you're and at 29 degrees, very intuitive, very creative. You want to shine in all that and use it. And yeah, it comes with a deep, like you feel everything, of course. So it's not like you're just feeling your own things. Maybe sometimes you think you're feeling your own sense of an over analytical aspect of self, but really you're feeling, a lot of other people's. Um, it could be even like heartbreak having the moon in the fifth house. And I think you have to learn to find your own, just focus on your own sense of feelings and identify with those and trust your intuition and communicate that. That seems like something that would be very beneficial right now, which is going to help you find the right relationships and the ones that are expanding and helping you grow and letting you, giving you the attention too. Like Venus in Leo definitely wants the attention. It wants to give attention too, but it wants to be like shown the love. So if you're not seeing that love with relationships or friends or other people, like this is Saturn in opposition, like you don't have to take that. And with a Saturn return, like you're choosing who you keep in your circle. Big time. So, Virgo perfectionism. Yeah, Moon quincunx Chiron. Yep. Inner security is, part of the vulnerabilities. It's part of being a 10th house sun too. Is That's one of the lessons is yes, you're here to make an impact in the public. You're here to have a legacy. It's like a big mission, a physical one. But you really have to have your own foundation. You have to have your own sense of knowing your worth, knowing your love, knowing your own emotions, your own feelings, and being planted and rooted there. Or else, there's not a lot of satisfaction with whatever can be achieved in the world if you're not satisfied within yourself. And your part of fortune's at 2 degrees Virgo. I'm sorry, Gemini. And the North Node's about to transit that. Like, that's a fated moment, coming up here in the next couple weeks, like 4 weeks. The nodes are going to sit at those lower degrees of Gemini and Sag for the rest of this year. So, like, the rest of this year is a destiny point too for you, in terms of like the relationships and the communication. So, a lot of this is hitting at once of like really finding your voice and the authority of your own mind and thoughts and feelings as well. Just got out of a 3.5 year relationship 2 weeks ago. Yeah, Erica. I got divorced during my Saturn return, so I definitely I feel you there. You know what's crazy too is a lot of times it is a relationship that transforms our life, and a lot of times that does come with a Saturn return and these choices we have to make for our own soul evolution. So, yeah, sometimes it's like a lot of the time it's actually a relationship that triggers, sort of the decision to go for the life's purpose instead of just staying in some sort of situation. Yeah, yeah, Venus in Leo and a Chiron in Leo. Like if you're not getting the love in a relationship and it's not like blowing your mind and expanding your world and isn't like the dream with Venus in the ninth house, like it ain't the one, you know? And Venus is making great aspect to your nodes. So like that's such a big point in your destiny too, is like really identifying with relationships that give you the love and blow your mind. It's interesting having your North Node, Sag, first house, Leo, Venus, like Leo, Venus in the ninth house. Like it's literally that energy of identifying with the love that's blowing your mind and expanding your world and giving you the dream, helping you envision, the best version of yourself and the powerful identity that you have while still relating to people that it's relating to all people, but identifying with the ones that show you your power. Pluto in the first, it's like this whole life is really finding your ego and yourself and your identification, and that comes through transformation and identity changes and a lot of that. And then the polarity point being the seventh house. You have to learn to to relate to people. It's not just maybe your way. Although South Node in the seventh house, like you've been doing relationships before, and maybe public relations too, with Mercury being the ruler of that South Node in the 10th house, like maybe having like really public relations where maybe the love wasn't there too with Chiron there. And now it's about kind of finding your deep desires and your nature of who you are while still letting other people do their thing as well. Ah, Lori got divorced on hers too. Saturn returns are definitely divorce transits. There's no doubt about it. Especially if like Lori, Cancer rising, got that Capricorn seventh house. So it's always a grow up moment, especially in that house and wherever your Saturn's at. Yours is very strong, of course, in the third, Lord of the third, and retrograde. So this is probably just a big moment of taking your mental authority back in all aspects, and your relationship house and Venus is definitely activated in all this too. So big times. Hopefully that was nice for you to hear and reassuring in some sense, and gave you a positive outlook. I'll pull a tarot card too. I like doing that. I think it was Shelby yesterday was asking what deck I was using. It's the Botticelli, the Golden Botticelli Tarot, for anyone interested. It's my favorite deck. The Golden Tarot is my other favorite deck. I like the Renaissance decks a lot, but it's Botticelli. It's a dope deck. That's the World card in the deck. The Birth of Venus. Ah, the Six of Pentacles. I love that card for you right now. This is about an equal give and take. You have seventh house stuff going on, mind, identification stuff. Like if you're not getting equal in life, this is where you gotta know where the scales are not in your favor right now, and where you're not getting whether it's the physical or the emotional in your life. This is where you know you're learning give and take. So if things aren't balanced out, you're learning how to cut those and identify. And it seems like you're doing the right thing. So breakups are never fun. Um, but astrologically, and that tarot card, it just seems like this is where you're finding the balance of the give and the take that are going to, put your life into more balance with how you're identifying, how you're thinking, and what's giving the twin-like energy in life. Yeah. Thank you so much for your vulnerability, Erica, and I hope that. I want to look at your solar return. It's your birthday. We got to go a little extra for the birthday. Are you going to be in Victoria, Canada, for your birthday, Erica? What's up? I just need your location to run a solar return chart. So that's why I'm stalling. I'm assuming you're going to be in Victoria, but you know how assumptions work. Hopefully she's still here. Hopefully she's still here. If not, I mean, I guess we can move on. I got so deep into the other stuff, I kind of like it slipped my mind a little bit to pull up the solar return. I don't know. I'll wait a little bit longer. And yeah, hope everybody's doing well. 7 people in here watching me just sit here, so appreciate you guys. Oh, glad you enjoyed. It's I would imagine like watching this would be pretty cool just to see how someone goes about how they do it. I do it a little differently than some other astrologers. Like yesterday, I was pulling up the outer chart, and I usually do that just to show people. But it's funny because I think I can actually get more into a channel of where to hit if I don't, because I already know where the transits are. I do a daily horoscope, I know where the planets are. It's almost easier for me to not look at them and just go where I should go. Everyone's different. Well, I guess Erica bounced. Erica, if you're still here, I will totally jump into that solar return for you if you're interested. Um, if not, no worries. Hope you got value out of the reading. I don't chart overlay. I do them side by side. Yeah. You're a special astrologer though, Lori. Lori's a badass astrologer for anybody in here. You've probably noticed when she's chatting in there. Lori's the real deal. All right. I'm going to get this video up and I'm going to share this video while we're chilling here cuz we just got to watch this together and come to some sort of conclusion on what's going on. Hopefully you can hear it. I'll put this microphone closer to the computer.
You ever been told always read the what's it called, the service term agreements? People always talk about that, no one ever does, right? I want you all to go to Amazon and check this out, so you know I'm not bullshitting you. Okay, check this out. I'm gonna pause this. Let me flip the camera around. All right, so this is Amazon.com service.terms or /service.terms, or you see it. All right, so it's very, very, here, hold on. It's very, 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 very lengthy. Okay, this is since August 18th, 2021, universal terms, service terms, right? And it goes on and on and on, and you can check this out yourself, okay, if you don't believe me. So we're gonna go down here to 42. Where is it? 42. I just had it. 42:10. All right, 42:10. I'm going to read this really, really quick, okay? Acceptable use. Safety critical systems. Your use of lumberyard materials must comply with the AWS acceptable use policy. The lumberyard materials are not intended for the use with life critical or safety critical systems such as the use in operation of medical equipment, automated transportation systems, autonomous vehicles, aircraft or air traffic control, nuclear facilities, manned spacecraft, or military use in connection with live combat. However, this restriction will not apply in the event of the occurrence certified by the United States Center for Disease Control successor body. Widespread viral infection transmitted via bites or contact with bodily fluids that cause human corpses to reanimate and seek to consume living human flesh, blood, brain, and nerve tissue, and is likely to result in the fall of organized civilization. What the fuck? Right there. Look yourself. aws.amazon.com. Service dash terms. Go check it for yourself. Kind of makes sense now when the CDC put out a report on zombie attacks and the fact that the CDC and our government did a drill on zombie attacks. Look it up. But that right there, that was just sent to me, and that is freaking insanity. Now it makes me want, I mean, there's hundreds of pages, but if you want to look them up.
Yo. What? Why? Nobody reads the service agreement. I'm guilty. Don't read it. Should. I mean, apparently they hide stuff in plain sight. Like, it's so interesting to think about, like, the collective consciousness and how we see movies manifest and shows manifest, and look at all the zombie movies and the apocalypse stuff that has come out in since whatever 20, I don't know, call it even like 2012 or even before that with like I think The Walking Dead came out a little before that. I can't remember, but like how popular The Walking Dead was. Like, did we really manifest like, or was it predictive programming? The Matrix is glitching. So, I got tricked into reincarnating. Reese, hello Reese. So that was a TikTok. I think I shared it on my story on Instagram, so you can check it there if you want to rewatch it. I'm not gonna play it again here for the people that did watch it, but in the user terms, the user agreement for Amazon, there's an article in there that talks about zombies and how and the CDC and a flesh-eating virus. No wonder what's his face Jeff Bezos is trying to go to space all the time. No wonder these billionaires are going to space. Like, damn. Anyways, the CDC website really does have it. They are. I mean, remember I Am Legend? Like, that was kind of similar. Interesting stuff. Yeah, they're really good. See, that's the thing with all this Neptune action too, and a strong Neptune in Pisces is we're living through a lot of deception. So we have to, know our soul. And if you know your soul, you can see through it. But if you're just in just reality, you don't see these things. That's why we have the two realities right now. And Dolores Cannon years ago was talking about the split and the collective and all the stuff about 3D, 5D. Very interesting stuff. And definitely trying to drag us into the dark side. I was saying that in the horoscope for today, with the Sun Square, Aldebaran, And Antares, this is more light and dark battle, and we've been dealing with that with the nodes on these fixed stars. And of course, the North Node on Aldebaran and in the Pleiades right now. Like that's the way out right now. And that's why so many people were channeling Pleiadian energy 2012 when we had the nodes were flipped, I think. But still, it's carrying around it to now. Interesting stuff. Well, I'll have to tell Yiddy that I'll do Erica's solar return as a birthday gift next time she's around. Not many people in here today. Kind of low key hangout. Um, Look at the chart. Pretty cool chart. We are about to be getting in that yod. Like we're kind of already feeling it with the moon sextile the sun and both the quincunxes to Saturn. So for the next 6 hours, we're really in this finger of God, and it's having us make big decisions with Saturn. That's where it's pointing towards is our decisions that we make with the frequency, and it's karma with Saturn at 8 degrees too, and we're in a big moment of choice. And the choice comes up again with Mercury starting to make good aspects to the nodes as well. And then Mercury's going to come and trine Saturn. So, the understanding of the light within us, also the understanding of the dark with the aspects to the South Node in Mercury, but how we weigh that out to justify what the right path is for ourselves and how to make a big decision. So we're all in this. That's why today's probably such an interesting day to me, because we're like, especially with Mars in opposition to Neptune, we're really, seeing if we're with our soul identification or not. And we can make a choice to drop our ego in some ways, to identify with it on a more soul level, on a more spiritual level. Or we can go into more physical deception and how we identify with that deception. It is a fascinating time to be alive. That's for sure. I love this chart though. I don't know why. I just have this like big vibe with it. It like really came in like Monday. So like even after I did the weekly, like Monday, I was like, oh man, these are important times. Like the download wasn't fully in when I recorded the weekly show. Like it was there, but then it just started coming in real strong. And Monday, let's take a look at that new moon, because we're still in a Leo lunation cycle right now too. So we're not even fully in the Virgo energy. We're still like closing out these big, this heart portal that was that Leo new moon on 8/8. And then September 6th on Monday, we get, look at this, 14-degree Virgo, 38 minutes. Look at Uranus, 14 degrees, 39 minutes. It does not get more exact of a trine over to Uranus. And the crazy part is even Lilith is there with Uranus, which we were dealing with Lilith squares in Gemini and the North Node, and the Sun and Mars squaring Lilith. And now here we are, like, we got to use that Lilith. We got to be kind of badasses for our values and for the harvest and the reality that we want. We got to take the stairway up, and we got to innovate and use all the insights that we found and these choices that we've made. And we're seeing Pluto and Venus in square. And of course the trine with Mercury and Saturn. And Venus is going to be trine over to Jupiter. Woo! I mean, this is initiating stuff. Like these are big initiation transits of like what world people are going to choose to live in. And is it pure spiritually as we start to see the sun approach the opposition to Neptune? Are we living in that pure essence of our soul and upgrading our reality around that? Mars in exact trine to Pluto, really, kind of a grand trine with Pluto too, because you can give a 10-degree orb, so Pluto, Uranus, 10 degrees apart. Really this Earth grand trine. I mean, this is a big Earth portal. So we just had this heart portal, and now we're in this like analytical Mercury, but this grounded understanding of like decisions and big, you know, big levels up the ladder with Uranus too. And like, are you ready to go up? Uranus always wants to throw us higher into the heavens, but if we didn't use this Leo season and this Leo lunation to really find the courage and heart here, like, did we really find our true physical, spiritual essence? And are we ready to transform our identity based around the purity of that essence? Fascinating stuff. And Venus square Pluto. Right at the spot, too, that Mercury's going to retrograde September 26th. Mm-hmm. 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 This is definitely like learning to let go too of a world and a life that isn't giving you the aesthetic and the beauty that that you desire and isn't in some sense of harmony with your soul. Very interesting too, and then looking at where things are going with passports, and restrictions and segregation. It's like we're all gonna have to make a choice, like which world we want to live in. Because if you don't want to, you know, put something in your body right now, you're gonna be outcasted. And you know what? I say fuck that system. And if they want to outcast me for that, so be it. Never liked that system, anyways. That's not true. I like parts of it, but I'm willing to let go of those parts to build and innovate and create new, better parts of reality with people that want to go through the transformation. And the people that don't, I wish them nothing but the best. And I hope that that world is full of happiness. I really do. So there's that too. See, Reese, that's the thing. The Photoshop and passports and like that's just fake. So do we really want to live in a fake world? I think that's an important question to ask ourselves. I don't want to fake anything, to be honest. I'm just going to figure it out. We have to just figure life out. Which, I mean, to each their own, just an opinion. But, because then you're just faking it to stay in an old system that's already on its way to crumbling. Pluto at these last degrees of Capricorn is just tearing structures down. And we're already starting to see it, of course. It's pretty obvious. And then next year, we get the exact Pluto return hit to the United States. And we've already been feeling that. And you can see it in the politics, and you can see it in the structures and the physical world and society. It's all about to blow up. And we're in this 3-year transit here with this Pluto return that's like really testing the integrity of what the United States was built on. But because the United States, is the world superpower, and the dollar is still, what the world runs on. That return is pretty big for the entire world, in my opinion. Not trying to be honest in a toxic system. That's a good point. I'm not here to hey, I'm not here to judge or tell anybody what they should do. That's just my opinion. I like I said, even if people want to go into that world, I hope they're nothing but happy. If people want to get a passport and copy one or whatever, like if that's where you would find more happiness, who am I to judge? You know? Yeah, it does depend. It depends on things. There's your environment, North Node and Gemini. A lot of things depend upon the environment that you're in and the relationships, for sure. Those are all very important aspects. I want to live in a treehouse castle. I do too. I want to live in a treehouse castle too. That'd be dope. But I mean, I don't know. Intuitively, I just really know I came here for this purpose. I especially too with astrology, I have a lot of fixed star conjunctions. My Mars on Antares, my Chiron on Sirius, my part of fortune on Algol. So I have a lot of like more the malefic star energy, even with my malefic Mars. But I think that gives like I'm here to be kind of a warrior for real justice and for win-wins for all people. My North Node's in Aquarius, Moon, Venus. Like I have to show people that we can all win, but we all have to be unique too. And I have to, even step up into that role more. I'm still growing into it, into that Aries rising that I am of like how to be more of a warrior in these times. All sides of resistance are useful. Not everyone wants to be on the front line and shouldn't be expected to. I completely agree. I completely agree. I was just giving my perspective for myself when I was just talking. We all have a different role here, you know. We can't lump anything as just the all being way. This is the way. There's no like one way. We all have to find our own special, unique way, and that's where a lot of really good things will be happening. And I think that we're in that time right now where people are really connecting to that way that's right for them, and it doesn't have to be any defined thing that everybody has to do. So I completely agree. Like, not everybody needs to go out on the front line. Some people, do just need to kind of hold space, you know? Like, there's, human design, right? We have projectors and reflectors out there, and, like, they're non energy types. Like, we can't throw projectors out, in a war. Like, that's not, like, they need to wait for an invitation. They got to get invited to war. like, or. Yeah, some of us are strategists. 100%. I completely agree. Definitely no argument there. Just being conscious right now and seeing through some illusions that are happening in our reality. I mean, I got to be honest, like just that is like a big help in my opinion for the collective. I don't think everybody has to get a YouTube channel or go live on Instagram or every day and have some mission to give truth. There's people that have that mission and they do it, you know? And then with astrology too, you can look at people's charts and like some people are literally meant to just like kick it at home and do the family life. Nothing wrong with that, you know? So yeah, not everybody's meant to be a warrior on the front lines. Well, it doesn't look like we're going to get many readings today. Kind of a slow afternoon. People might be busy. Or mainly, I've gotten all my viewers that were interested. So, I got to figure out a way to get like more new viewers that are interested. I don't post this much on my Twitter. I've been like anti-Twitter lately, so I should probably start promoting more over there. But I do hope you guys all have a great day. Um, Willing to hang out a little longer if anybody has anything in particular they want to talk about, or if they want a tarot card pulled or something, you know. But I know I was gonna post it too. I was actually gonna go live and then get my phone and post on Twitter and next time. It's not like I can't just go live again another day. Yeah, pull a card. For you, Reese, do you have a question? Better as a Clubhouse? Yeah, I mean, it might be. I've never used Clubhouse. For some reason, I'm not that interested in it. I don't know why. TikTok and Clubhouse. I'm just like, nah. Like, how many platforms do I have to do I have to keep up with? I feel like already with like YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, it's just like a lot. Thank you, AK. I'm glad you enjoyed. It's good to talk about some of this stuff, even if we didn't do many readings today. Like, I think that zombie video is important and funny and scary a little bit at the same time, but it's in their user agreement. Like, well, it makes you wonder how much other crazy shit is hidden in these user agreements, right? And it's like, I'm not going to take the time to read them all. But when I find other people that do, I'll share them. It's like Spaces. Yeah, Spaces is pretty cool on Twitter. All right, Reese, if you have a question, ask away for this tarot card. If not, I'll just pull one. People can talk out loud on. Oh, right. That's a good point. Is Clubhouse on computer or is it just on iPhone? Secret question. Knight of Cups. Pretty dope. I would say you're finding the emotional strength right now to move in a particular direction, and I think it might not be as fast as maybe you were hoping that things would come, but it's like getting the emotions in order, getting your feelings right, so that you can like move forward with that strength that you do need in the direction that's really pulling you. So much more intuitive movement right now seems more important than just charging through the door, you know? So really checking in with your gut. And what would you get that for? Yeah, the Knight of Wands reversed. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe something's trying to you're trying to move real fast in some direction right now with a lot of gusto, and it's like actually just listen a little bit more to the intuition, and you're gonna get to the destination. So don't rush a process right now, but keep going. But make sure that you're really in it, and it brings you some sense of happiness. Yeah, it's probably on Android. I like to do this because, right, it really is like a live reading show. I could look into another, like, just hangout, which I do want to do more of that too, and, like, actually go back and forth with a bunch of people. So we could do that. Maybe I'll look into something like that. This is more, right, I want to pull up their chart and talk to people, even though they have to type. It's cool because I can share my screen. Like, I can share the chat. Kind of funny too. You're like, meh, meh. Sorry. Sometimes I like to be. Sometimes I'm silly. Probably sillier than most of you think. You guys probably think I'm like real serious. I don't take life very serious. I take work and astrology and a lot of that serious, and I do have a lot of Capricorn, but I'm not as serious as people probably think I am. Yeah, don't rush. Oh yeah, the chat competition. That's a thing. I know I've watched like the Leo Kings lives before and it's like which is cool because he gets a lot of viewers and gets the message out to a lot of people. So I would say I aspire to have that kind of reach with these platforms, but I like the intimacy now a lot, grateful for that as well. What makes you think that? Not serious at all. I don't know. I got Neptune the 10th. You think I know what you guys think of me? It makes you feel like a peasant? Oh, because everything's moving so fast? Well, I would hope that nothing would make you feel like a peasant, even if things are moving fast and maybe your, you know, question or response didn't get seen. You should all, you're not a peasant. Like you're just as worthy as everybody else. You know, peasant. That would be your favorite word. Peasant. I mean, it's a pretty funny word. Not gonna lie, like sometimes you see those memes or like a reel where somebody just throws peasant out at like the perfect time, and you're like, I love comedy. I'm not. I'm definitely not sensitive to comedy. Some people are a little sensitive to comedy. I have an Aquarius moon. It's you know, I love my moon. It's a weird one. Aquarius moons are weird. I know that, but as far as like real sensitive things and like things getting to me, things just don't really get to me. My own shit gets to me. I'll beat myself up over something. But like, you know, whatever somebody else does, I'm just like crazy humans. It's my word for Virgo season. Touche. It's a good Virgo season word. Virgo feels that way. Just Virgo is such an interesting sign because it has that like I'll say it like slave sort of energy and just that mundane routine work out in the field picking the harvest, and then it has that like beautiful virgin pure side of it too that's just like the ultimate like beauty in a lot of ways, which is no imperfections, but there's also, you know, nothing's, we live in an unperfect universe, in an imperfect universe, and you could even say God is imperfect because if he creates everything in his likeness, then how could how could we live in a completely perfect universe? Or how could the creator be perfect? So, got to learn perfection only exists for moments in time, and I think that's a good reason why Mercury does rule Virgo. It's because Mercury's so fast and it's moments, so we have moments of perfection and then we have to change to get things perfect again, like dust will accumulate over time. So moment to moment, we always got to adjust to get into perfection, but we don't want to get wrecked by imperfection either because as The Weeknd put in one of his albums, it's beauty in the madness. And it's good to remember that there is beauty in madness and chaos and how you bring yourself to your own order in that. All right, later, Lori. Well, I guess I'm going to call it a day. Maybe I'll hop on later this evening and see if more people are on this evening that are interested in a reading. Kind of bummed there's not many people interested today because, like, I'm feeling pretty in the channel. Um, but that's okay. I can get back in that when I need to, and I will. Well, I love you all so much. I definitely appreciate the conversations. Thank you so much, Reese, for hanging out. AK, um, Erica, who left and didn't get her solar return reading. Thank you. That was about it. But yeah, we'll connect soon, Reese. Whether it's Clubhouse or something, we'll get on something. Maybe Instagram Live or who knows. We'll connect like verbally without me just talking to a camera and you typing. More personal. So love you all very much. I will see you when I see you. Who knows? I could pop up on here at any moment. I'm ready to do so. So much love and have a great rest of your day. And also, if you want to see some more of me talking, if you really enjoy that, I'll be on IG Live with Sarah at Full Moon Astrology at 4 p.m. Pacific IG Live. So that'll be fun. I think that there'll definitely be some good information and some good back and forth there. So tune into that if you are available. Love you. Peace.